300 million people worldwide claim to have been abducted by aliens. But even more incredible is what the victims say happens to them while they are in alien hands. Many report being subjected to torturous medical experiments involving the removal of tissue, eggs, sperm, and blood. Others return with unwelcome reminders of their ordeal.
There have been people that have come forward with x-rays or physical evidence of something under the skin that defies explanation.
Some female abductees even claim to have become pregnant during these abductions. Are aliens creating human hybrids? Or are we becoming a kind of domesticated animal, bred for a sinister alien purpose? Join us as the shocking secrets behind the eminent human harvest are unsealed. A global effort has begun. Secret files hidden from the public for decades, detailing every UFO account, are now available to the public. We are about to uncover the truth behind these classified documents. Find out what the government doesn't want you to know. Unsealed. Alien Files. Exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Baía do Sul, Brazil, October 18th, 1977. Claudomira Paisao is asleep in her home when she is suddenly aware of a strange green light shining through her window. The air around her becomes warmer as the light reaches her face. Now fully awake, Paisao watches in stunned disbelief as the light turns ominously red, and she sees a creature like a man wearing what she describes like diaper's clothes, holding a device like a pistol. The creature fires, causing her searing pain. The beam holds her motionless, while needle-like instruments pierce her skin, collecting a sample of her blood. It's a truly terrifying encounter, but far from the only one of its kind in the area. The incident was part of a wave of similar attacks that struck northern Brazil from late 1977 to mid-1978. Aliens invade homes. UFOs blast mysterious beams of light down on an unsuspecting populace. 2 victims die of severe burns within 24 hours. The attacks caused mass panic throughout the region. People are afraid to go outdoors. Villagers remain awake through the night, banging pots and burning bonfires to keep the menacing lights away. The Brazilian military launches an investigation into the attacks. It combs the region and makes over 200 UFO sightings of its own over a 4-month period. Alien crafts are seen diving into the waters at the mouth of the Amazon River. Hundreds of people are interviewed about their ordeals, and all agree the extraterrestrials came in search of one thing: human blood. Not long after the threat disappears in Brazil, it reappears further north. And this time, the perpetrators take their plan a terrifying step further. Miami, January 3rd, 1979. Filiberto Cardenas is driving with 3 friends when his car engine fails. He gets out to check under the hood. Suddenly, a massive UFO appears over the car. The passengers watch in horror as it shines a blinding beam of light at Cardenas, pulling him inside. The UFO then vanishes, taking the terrified motorist with it. 2 hours later, Cardenas is found by a police officer 16 miles from the abduction site. But according to the victim, he had traveled much farther. Cardenas reports the craft was manned by 3 human-like aliens who flew him to a rocky stretch of coast, which opened into an undersea tunnel. The aliens spoke Spanish, warning Cardenas of future wars and disasters that will threaten humanity. At the end of the tunnel, the UFO arrived at a massive underwater city. There, Cardenas met another human abductee who claimed to have been living with the aliens for years. Cardenas claims the aliens then conducted a series of medical experiments on him. A later physical examination reveals over 100 needle marks on his body. Not long after his abduction, Cardenas begins to suffer from a litany of strange afflictions. His body experiences extreme temperature changes, causing him to sweat profusely, and nothing can quench his endless thirst. Worst of all, he suffers terrifying memory loss that leaves him wondering what is real and what is the work of his alien abductors. Coming up, we'll discover that blood is not the only precious human element aliens may be attempting to harvest. This is Unsealed Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Welcome back to Unsealed Alien Files. Millions around the world claim to have been abducted by aliens, and many of these victims have a clear memory of blood samples being forcibly taken from their bodies. Some of these procedures, however, are more invasive than others. Mark Routley of England is another victim of alien surgery.
Suddenly, out of the blue, I woke up 3 o'clock in the morning, terrified, panic-stricken, paralyzed. I knew exactly what was going on. 3 entities were in the room. I could see all around the room. I was completely coherent, completely awake, just immobile. I entered another dimension of fear. All else I remember is some kind of thing being drilled into my ear.
Many abductees will say that they put something up the nose with an instrument, and they always describe this cracking sound that they hear. Well, if you look up the nasal cavity to the base of the brain, and there's a bone called the ethmoid, and there's 2 thin little plates. Those are called the ethmoid plates. And if you puncture one of those plates, you're right at the base of the brain.
But why are aliens trying to access our brains? What are they trying to extract? According to some abduction accounts, it isn't what's taken that terrifies the victims. It's what's left behind. Alamogordo, New Mexico, 1975. 16-year-old Ted Davenport sets out on a solo backpacking trip in the nearby wilderness, feeling compelled to do so by an indescribable force. Along the way, he has a constant feeling that he's being watched. At night, he leaves his tent and is astonished to see a group of small, humanoid beings. He blacks out. The next morning, he wakes up beside the remains of his campfire with a painful headache, a lump on the side of his head, and no memory of the night before. 5 years later, he is in the Navy when he's badly injured and sent for emergency medical treatment. An MRI reveals a metallic implant in his brain. Davenport claims to have been abducted multiple times since the implant's discovery. Doctors refuse to remove it, despite many opportunities to do so. Davenport claims that aliens use the implants to control not only his brain, but the brains of the doctors who treat him as well. A further scan in 2001 reveals the implant is still there. Dr. Roger Lear is a surgeon who has experience removing alien implants left behind in victims of alien abduction.
This mark is not in any medical book on dermatology. It looks as if someone took a tiny little teaspoon and just scooped out a little bit of skin. So in 2 of the surgeries we did, we actually removed the scoop mark and we submitted it for pathological analysis. But underneath, we found a little grayish white ball in both of the cases. And so there was an implant associated with the scoop mark.
Are aliens placing implants in people's brains? Are they attempting to monitor or copy all of our thoughts, feelings, and memories? Or is it something else they're searching for? For all the recent advances in computer technology, the human brain remains the most powerful information processor on the planet, with a top calculation speed of 100 trillion calculations per second. Are they after the brain tissue itself to use as an organic microprocessor? Could the Earth be an intelligence farm for beings from another world? It's a chilling prospect. But according to reports, there is another, far more precious element being harvested from the human body. One that could jeopardize our species' very survival. Some female abductees report being subjected to terrifying gynecological procedures, emerging from the ordeal mysteriously pregnant. Worse still, after a few months' gestation, They claim they are abducted yet again, after which the fetus mysteriously disappears. Is the child some kind of alien-human hybrid? Or is the subject being used as a kind of surrogate to gestate a fully alien life form? Victims are left searching for answers, and an unfortunate few receive them in the worst possible way.
A pregnancy may be interrupted in the second or third trimester of pregnancy, and the fetus is taken. But later, the individual is taken aboard a craft and shown that individual after being born. And they look partially like the mother and partially like whoever it was that took them. The hair is sparse, the heads are large.
Are aliens implanting fetuses in human females? And if so, what is their purpose? Are they simply experiments to satisfy some scientific curiosity? Some experts believe these pregnancies are an attempt to produce alien-human hybrids, capable of surviving in Earth's atmosphere and possessing greater immunity to the planet's many diseases. It's all part of an insidious plan.
Another theory is the fact that they're genetically engineering humans, that it could serve some purpose in altering our genetic code or the way that we evolve as human beings. My guess is they could potentially make a life form that they would like us to evolve into.
Could aliens be trying to hijack human DNA to create a race of hybrids that will one day take over the Earth? Coming up, we investigate the shocking discovery that an ancient ruler may have been an alien hybrid. This is Unsealed, Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Welcome back to Unsealed, Alien Files. Mounting evidence suggests that extraterrestrials are harvesting human blood, brain power, and even the product of our reproductive systems as part of a master plan to create a new Earth in a distinctly alien image. But is it true? Many believe the aliens revealed their hand during an extraordinary series of events in the late 1970s. Dulce, New Mexico, March 24th, 1978. Cattle rancher Manuel Gomez finds the dead carcass of an 11-month-old bull. But the condition of the calf's body is something he has never experienced before. The animal's sex organs have been removed with a precision beyond modern capabilities. Blood samples taken at the scene are an unusual shade of light pink and refuse to clot. The remains are sent to a lab in Los Alamos for autopsy. The final police report notes that both the liver and heart were mushy. It concludes that a probable explanation for the pinkish blood is a control type of radiation used to kill the animal. Who would commit such a bizarre crime? Are aliens studying other mammals on Earth? And if so, why? Many early civilizations sacrificed cattle to appease the gods. Could humans have been feeding an alien need for these animals thousands of years ago? The shocking answer may lie in ancient Egypt and the reign of its most controversial pharaoh. Unsealed case file. Akhenaten. He was Akhenaten, husband of the legendary Queen Nefertiti. Before him, ancient Egyptians worshipped many gods and goddesses. But Akhenaten replaced them all with just one. Aten, the sun god.
What's fascinating about Aten is you have this powerful being that comes out of seemingly nowhere, replaces the pantheon of the old gods of Egypt, and takes over and gives his blessings to Akhenaten. Why would he choose Akhenaten? And why would Akhenaten choose to change an entire system of belief thousands of years old just in the blink of an eye?
It was a radical break with untold years of religious tradition. But this isn't the only controversy surrounding King Akhenaten.
There's some connection between him and this deity. And if we believe in the idea that Aten was some sort of extraterrestrial being, then perhaps Akhenaten was actually offspring.
Egyptian pharaohs were always depicted in art in a similar way. But Akhenaten looked radically different. His skull was elongated. His body shape was unlike most human depictions of the time. Why did Akhenaten attempt to change religious tradition during his reign? And why did he look so different?
Akhenaten was the husband of Nefertiti and the father of Tutankhamun. But UFO theorists today call him the Alien King.
Experts point to the striking similarity between the ancient king and modern descriptions of aliens. Was Akhenaten an alien hybrid? And was his reign an attempt by aliens to take over the human population in one fell swoop? Some experts believe that if Akhenaten was an alien hybrid, then his son, the famed King Tutankhamun, would have carried alien blood in his veins as well. And this has chilling implications for the entire world. That's because a recent study has suggested that up to half of all Western European men can trace their ancestry back to Tutankhamun, confirming what many ufologists consider to be Egypt's hidden alien legacy. Coming up, we reveal the shocking endgame of the human harvest that could spell the end of the human race. This is Unsealed Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Welcome back to Unsealed Alien Files. The time to act is now. Tell us your story. Get involved in the fight to unseal the truth. Now. Mounting evidence suggests that aliens may have been genetically manipulating the human population on a fundamental level for thousands of years.
All the evidence shows that the human race is being interfered with by an advanced civilization.
But how long do they intend to continue this chilling plan? What is their ultimate goal? The harvest phenomenon is happening at a time when the world's population is increasing faster than ever before. If current trends continue, by 2050, it will reach 10 billion, at which point many experts believe life on Earth will become unsustainable. Some, however, think this peak is exactly what the aliens and their human co-conspirators are waiting for.
If there's an object plan for taking over our world, it's happening from the inside out.
Is it possible? Is the secret human harvest merely a precursor to an open slaughter when the world reaches peak population? Will extraterrestrials wipe humanity off the face of the Earth and replace it with a new hybrid life form? Are there already hybrids among us, designed to survive and start again? This is Unsealed Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth.